Welcome back.
Check it out.
We have shirts now. They came out a little bit different.
Rough draft.
Yeah,
we're
it's
working
definitely
on
a
it.
rough draft. I feel like my logo needs to be higher. You can't even see the bottom of it, but there we go. It says, lift, eat, repeat.
That's what we do, baby.
Yes, we do. We're going to start with eating.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to talk, and then we're going to go work out.
Yes.
So
it's going to be a good time.
All right, taste test. Let's start with this. So this is the new-ish RX bar. Now, to be fair, we got to say, I hate RX bars. I love the macros and the ingredients, but they don't taste good. I hate the texture. It's like hard to chew. They don't taste great. But this is a different variety. This is the nut butter and oat.
I used to force
situation.
myself to. I love the ingredients in these, the RX bars, but chewing them is so.
So this is more of like, it's very low protein for a protein bar, just 10 grams. So I don't know. We'll take a look at the macros in a minute. But this is the nut butter and oat RX bar in honey cinnamon peanut butter. So this is 3 tablespoons of oats, 14 peanuts, 2 egg whites, and 2 teaspoons honey. Very specific.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been their shtick. So we've got 220 calories, 8 grams of fat, 29 carb, 4 fiber, and 10 protein. Shall we?
We shall.
So
not as smooth as usual.
Yeah, not as it looks like it has way more texture than a typical RX bar.
Softer. You can tell right off the bat. What is that?
I don't know what that is.
But you get it.
Yeah. It's got some weird... It's oats, honey, peanut butter, egg whites, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, brown rice, avocado, sunflower oil, coconut sugar, oat fiber, sea salt, cinnamon, natural flavors. I don't know. None of those things.
Maybe it's the peanuts they're using, like the peanut butter.
Maybe. It's like the first second, like I want to like it. First of all, the texture is a million times better than a typical RX bar. I can totally get down with that. I love the texture and the softness. But there's some weirdness in there.
It's not lemon, but like there's something that's like an off flavor.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not bad though.
It's not bad, but it's not what I was expecting. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Which one do you want to do next? This one? All right. So, oh, by the way, everything today I did get at Trader Joe's. So this is a Trader Joe's brand. Now, it's not a protein bar. This is a fiber bar. So this is fiberful granola bars, rolled oats and chocolate chips. And there's 120 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, 23 carbs, 5 protein. So this is like a good low-cal snack. And 9 grams of fiber.
Yeah.
So.
And yes, good for digestion.
Perfect snack, I would say. As long as it's tasting the way we want it to taste. We'll split this bad boy down the middle because I can't imagine it tastes bad.
No.
Someday we'll open it. Also, you know how like we were gonna open things like before we roll? Then I thought today, as long as I like keep it away from my microphone. Oh shoot! Which when we put on our shirts, I forgot to move the microphone. Okay, excuse me. This is probably gonna sound like lots of rattling, but we'll just put that there. Perfect. So as long as I open the wrappers away from the microphone, we might be all right. So there you go. It looks very good. Nice chocolatey coating.
This reminds me
texture
of a classic Quaker Oats granola bar.
I know what you mean. Like the dipped ones.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But like I can tell the ingredients are healthier.
Yeah, the flavor's totally different though.
Yes, it's very much
It
more.
does not taste like a classic Quaker bar.
It's lifted. It kind of tastes a little bit gourmet compared to that.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, actually. And the texture is very similar, but the taste is better, I think.
You know what? I don't know which ingredient in there, but like I can like it reminds me of like an Italian Christmas cookie a little bit. Like it has that like sugary kind of.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of ingredients. Never mind. There's everything in here.
Yep. Maybe it's like an almond extract or something.
Maybe, but it definitely
Marzipan.
It's good. Definitely good.
Eat again. I would.
Yes, I would totally eat those. We'll have to split those. I don't know what we're gonna do with the other bars, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Keep enjoying that. We're gonna try another Think bar. So we did a Think bar last episode, but it was a very, very different one. This is the Think Delight keto-friendly bar. Whatever. This is chocolate peanut butter pie. And it has 10 grams of protein. What else? 180 calories, 14 grams of fat. That's what they say. See, I love whenever any food says keto friendly, I always like walk away because I know it's going to be a ton of fat.
Yeah, exactly. One time
So
we should
funny.
have like a satirical episode.
Oh, yes.
We should have like a satirical episode. I think that would be funny.
That would be great. We will definitely do that. And this only has 14 carbs, as true to keto friendly. 3 grams of fiber.
Because carbs are so bad.
I don't know if I'll be able to do the satirical
That's what
episode.
I mean.
It's so cringy. But so this is like a super, super soft bar.
I'm liking the looks of
I'm
bar.
like looking forward to this.
She looks pretty good.
Oh shoot.
Give me the smaller
No,
side.
I'm giving you the big one.
Okay.
Smells peanut buttery.
She's soft.
Oh wow.
This reminds me of that wafer thing that we had last time, but I like the wafer one better.
Oh yeah. But this is good.
Mm-hmm.
There's little crispy bits. So as super soft as it is, it even has a little crunch though. It has some like little crispy bits in there. Incredibly soft, very peanut buttery. I really like it.
This would fill a sweet tooth.
I can't talk yet. Keep talking. No, wait.
Well, we're gonna work on our favorite things at the gym today because
yeah, we're not going to follow
clean slate.
a plan today. We're going to so every once in a while, and I think I must have mentioned this to my coach before, because sometimes, as important as it is to follow a plan of progressive overload and consistency and all of that, once in a while, especially if you're starting to feel like gym burnout, I feel like it's a good idea to go into the gym and just do whatever you want.
Yes. Yes.
I do that on vacation. So sometimes I did that the last time I went away. I do my own thing. I don't really, because you never know what kind of equipment you're going to end up working with and whatever.
Do you have a non-strict guide that you work with? Like, are you like, I'm going to hit like upper body, lower body, and maybe cardio? Or is it just like whatever you feel when you walk in?
Well, I have my favorites anyway, so don't you feel like that? Like
Yes.
You always have like your favorite
Yes.
body parts to train. So it kind of stays consistent that way. And it really depends on how long I'm away for. Because, I might love doing, hitting shoulders, but if I'm away for 5 days, I'm not going to do 5 days of shoulders. So yeah, I'll vary it up that way. But so, like today is like a one-off day. We're just gonna do what we
Yes.
want. So we'll see what we end up doing.
I remember a sliver of my dream last night.
Oh, tell me.
I was in the mirror and I had capped shoulders.
That's
I just
awesome.
remember going like this in the dream, and they were like cut. And I woke up and I was like, oh.
That's like when you stand there and you're like, yeah, look at that.
They were like totally ripped, like how I want them to be eventually. So like that was cool. We're getting there. We're gonna go there.
That's awesome.
What are you gonna say though?
I was gonna say we should alternate today. Like I'll pick something, you pick something.
Yes, I like that.
Totally random. All right. So that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about body image today. So, and I think
body image. Oof.
I mean, I always say what a good combination we are,
Mhm.
but especially for this topic, I think it's really good because we have many, all right, a couple of decades between us. I was going to say many years, but it's like decades. And so that's great because like I look back to how I viewed my body in teens, 20s, 30s, you know what I mean? And you can look at how your body image has evolved over time or whatever. And even how competing may or may not have changed or what morphed that. So there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I feel like being in my, I guess, mid to late 20s now, I guess, that I realized that, it's completely an evolution, and like even what you were so sure of yesterday may not be what you're so sure of today, mentally, physically, whatever it is. So
have you heard people say like, oh, when you're in your 40s, you won't care about anything anymore?
I heard so many things about, like, for a small example, when I was in high school, I'm Italian. So I had like really, really grown in arm hair, and I didn't like it because I was, a teenager. My mom is like, oh, but by the time you're my age and you cook your whole life, all the hair falls off your arms. And I was like, okay, well, like I'm mad at it now. I'm not gonna care when I'm 40 about the arm hair on my arms, so like just certain things that are in your world sphere at certain ages in time
actually
change.
We could literally talk about just body hair forever.
I mean, we could.
Hey, it's body image. It's all parts of body image. And you never know what somebody might be struggling with.
By the way, sorry to get so passionate.
We're so excited.
But I think that
body hair. Come on in.
Yeah. I think we need to highlight and continue to advocate for women's everything.
Yes.
Women's health, women's body image. Because like my mom, and she gave me the idea to talk about that, because not only in like the physical fitness world, in literally every sphere, we're getting progress made, but like we still know very little about woman and woman's body. And so I think that's important to be identifying what's going on with our body, not just on a superficial, which is not what we're really talking about, but not just on a surface level. Really, if we know what's going on with our body, that's going to be the biggest key to help us if we're ever going through something medically or something that we didn't ever been through before.
Right.
So women are very important to highlight and advocate for, and continue to get our messages out there in all of our stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
So has your body image improved as you've gotten older?
Yes, it has. I think that I was lucky in the sense of that I grew up active with like an active lifestyle, playing soccer, and having an older brother to bother and look up to, and knowing he was being active and stuff. And so I never really had any body image issues until I had my knee injury and surgery, in which I had to, change my body physically.
Because
I wasn't active.
I
wasn't playing soccer. I was eating the same exact way, because that's how I always ate, especially as an active athlete and everything. So a few years, and I was still in soccer and active, but I realized that my body changed a lot, and in like a short period of time, you know? And so that affected my self-worth. You know, it shakes you up a little bit because when people treat you differently or you see yourself differently, and that can, of course, change how you even treat yourself, regardless of how other people are treating you. And so my body image was negative for some time, in the sense of like, I felt like I didn't match what I wanted to be in like my head and what I was before. And I also thought to myself, like, it took me some years to realize how I was treating my body. And then once I realized that, I was like, not only because of the way I look, but because of the way I feel, I know I deserve better. I deserve to treat myself better, and I deserve to feel good and confident in my skin. I think everybody should deserve to feel good and confident in their skin, no matter what they look like or what that means for them. But everybody knows where they are comfortable in their own skin, and when you can be truthful with yourself. And so things that I did, believe it or not, to improve my body image was I had to change the way I talked to myself. And I couldn't bully myself. Like, I feel like that's natural maybe as a girl, and if you don't experience that, good for you. But it can be toxic if you don't treat yourself kindly and with respect, the way that you probably treat other people too. So if you treat other people with kindness and respect, why can't we also hold that space for ourselves, which is like not the most important, but we have to have a good relationship with our body.
Well, it kind of is, because it's like when we're happy and we have a good relationship with ourselves, we're kinder human beings in general.
Of course. And when you have the right balance in yourself, it's not a selfish thing. It's a making sense kind of thing.
Yeah.
So body image is going to be really important to the health of your own emotions and your own psyche. And it took years of trying to pick up better habits, listen to myself, and really pay attention to what that voice is saying, because that's going to lead you to wherever, you know, that path takes you. And if you stay on one certain path, and you might not like it, but if that's where you're staying, nothing's going to change. And so I love to bring in changes are only constant, because that's something that helps me, because there's a lot of change that we don't like, and there's change that we do like, but we might not be as open to it. But I love to highlight in my own brain all the time that changes are only constant, because it helps me cope and be able to deal with change, because I know it's our only constant, and not all change we like, right? But there's a lot of changes that, you know, help us and that we do like. And that's been important to highlight within self-image.
Yeah. I feel like going back to when I asked you if you've heard that, like, you're just not going to care anymore when you get older, or even how your mom had said,
oh my God,
oh, don't worry about the hair because it'll be good. You know what I mean? I was kind of waiting for that. I was like, oh, I can't wait when I'm 40 and I don't care anymore. So 40 has come and gone. Still care a lot. But
you care
it's
about,
definitely gotten way better.
And you probably care about more qualitative things that
very
help
true.
your whole picture, your whole health, and your whole family like picture, let's say, rather than just one simple thing, or not one simple, but one thing that might help you in that moment.
And one thing that is cool is that, like, I don't feel affected by social media or those types of standards at all, despite being someone who practically lives on Instagram and, you know, works, and, you know, where I'm there all the time, and it's all fitness 24/7. But I am, you know, I'm not kind of swayed by those images and what I'm seeing and stuff like that. It's kind of, I'm in my own lane. I stay in my own lane. I know what I want.
And I feel like I've always already had it in my like map of myself that it's not like anyone else that I'm comparing myself to, especially like in my own, like as I've matured and got older, that it's only me that is going to get me to where I'm going or not get me where I'm going. So it's not really like a comparison on social media or like.
But even to your past self, because did you find that when you realized that your body had changed after your injury, did you ever think back to like, I wish I was do you ever think back to when you were like at the height of your athletic career
Mhm.
and being like, well, I want to be that version of me, like wanting to go back?
Yes. When I was younger, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had my knee surgery. It was 2014, so it was right before my 16th birthday, actually. So I was like pretty kind of young, considering compared to now. And so, oh god, yeah, I was like had a different mindset, and I also didn't know how hard it was. It was actually some injuries. I mean, you see NFL people, they get back in like 6 weeks or something from it, but of course the resources and everything. But it like took me a lot to recover because yeah, it was a hard thing. And at the time, I thought it was going to be maybe easy to do that because never been through an injury like that before, and also you don't know until you're going through it. And so it actually took a lot more strength and triumph to get through that than I thought it was going to. And I just, if you're ever going through something like mentally or physically, I am just so glad I had it in me to get through it. And it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen even in a year. It took me like, honestly, probably like 5 years to really feel like I was in a better place than I was before then, and like improved. And so it's journey. There's no final destination. The destination is you accomplishing whatever it is that you need to be a better person every day. That's your destination, because it doesn't end somewhere.
Yeah,
it's a full journey. And yeah, I feel like it's definitely changed.
Yeah. So I definitely was not an athlete at any point in my younger years. So a completely different kind of situation. I remember in high school going through phases of feeling like I was a whale when I was not. But that's the teenage girl mentality. Like every teenager thinks they're fat, whether they're fat or not. You know what I mean? It's like,
and then you actually get
yeah, and then like you see yourself later on and you look back and you realize, oh my gosh, this poor kid in me, you know what I mean, thought these horrible things about herself that weren't
like,
true.
Damn, I should have
Exactly,
enjoyed that.
right? So, but the first time I remember like really getting in good shape was because I did ride horses all through high school and college.
She says she's not an athlete.
Well, you know what I mean. And then I took a job on a ranch the summer between the end of my junior year and beginning of my senior year. And that summer on a ranch, the amount of physical labor that you do on a ranch, like I thought, like, yeah, I've stacked hay bales. I can carry, I was like 15 years old and like carrying 2 50-pound grain bags over my shoulder into the, barn or whatever. Like I felt like I could do manual labor, but working on a ranch is a whole nother level. So I got jacked and didn't even realize it until one day I was like putting my hair in a ponytail to go down to the pasture, and I'm putting my hair in the ponytail and these like biceps are like popping and I'm like, what the heck? And can I tell you also, I was eating like a pint of Ben and Jerry's at night. Like I was eating well.
Well, you're probably burning so many calories in the day that your body was like, just please give me calories. Ben and Jerry's great. Put it right to the muscles.
Exactly. So yes, things are different when we're younger, but also that was an extreme amount of physical labor. So I got jacked accidentally, and I was like, wow, like this is cool. I kind of wanted to stay that way. And when I got back from the ranch, I was like, but I didn't know anything. And I was like, how do I stay this way? You can't.
Eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's every day?
Like I would have to, the amount of time I would have to devote to the gym to equal that much physical labor. So let's just say things went in the other direction. Okay. And then when I was 25, I got on the sheriff's department and went through the academy. And again, got jacked and super lean because it's PT all day. And I remember, and I loved it. I was a weirdo. I loved it. And I was like, Everyone else is like, crying on the inside, but you can't have a facial expression. And I'm like, I'm getting paid to work out all day. Such a nut.
Best vibe.
So again, I got in really, really good shape. And I remember being so proud of myself in the fitness test because I could do 60 push-ups in a minute. That's 1 per second, which I thought was pretty awesome until I saw all the military guys in my class that could do more than 1 per second.
Okay, fine.
Like,
no.
And we're talking full depth. Like, trust me, there were like drill sergeants on the ground with your chest had to hit like this. You had to hit the full depth all the way back up too. None of this like half.
And now, is that just a male woman thing? Because female
No,
thing?
We had the same standards.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, could a girl just not do that because we don't have the same like
the
testosterone?
No, I
and...
think if I don't know what it was. I thought that was like I could do more than 60 if the time hadn't been up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But the speed with which they could get all the way down and all the way back up.
It has to be like a
It was like
skeletal.
it was incredible. Like, you just watch them and you're like, it's almost like you're watching a video in like double speed or something. It's crazy.
So annoying.
Anyway, I was still proud to be able to do 60 push-ups in a minute. And I just was feeling really good then. But again, could I maintain that? No. Because again, you're not in the academy all day. And then I don't know, I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know anything,
Mm-hmm.
So the weight started to come back on. Then I was like, you know what I was doing? I was taking Hydroxycut.
Yes.
Don't do this.
Six-pack on the
We're
pill bottle.
telling you these things so that you don't do them.
Yeah, I used to take Ideal Lean. What was her name? Oh, Paige Hathaway. Ideal Lean.
Oh, I don't know.
Fat burning pills, and they were hot pink in all the pill bottles. So I was like, yay! I was like a senior in high school. I was like, yeah, this is gonna help me get fit.
Yeah.
That and my waist, like the sweat thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Yep, I did that too.
And it's like, and I'm laughing because everybody has to go through their own journey, and it's a completely no hate thing. But at some point, you realize that what you consume, your activity levels, and the little things that you do is going to be the biggest differences when it comes to your image and how you change it.
Exactly. So that was way too long of a story, but my point was that later on, I would look back at those times in my life and constantly wish I could get back there.
Yes.
And I was like, just constantly wishing I could be the old me. And thankfully, I don't do that anymore.
No.
I've learned that is not the way.
And I think it's great that you say that, because I'm the same way, where like, instead of thinking about yourself in the past or a certain version of yourself and thinking, I want to get back to that. Now that's, whatever you identify about that back version that you want to achieve is fine. But I hate thinking about it, like getting back to that, because why do we want to move backwards? We're not taking a step backwards. We want to use whatever it is in our experience and propel ourselves forward to whatever that image we're trying to create. Because I think moving forward is like a sign of advancement and progress and growth. So forget about what's in your back, your rear view mirror. Look ahead and transform. Use everything that you've been through and yet you are to transform into who you want to be.
Right. Because the looking back part, it doesn't serve you. It doesn't help you you're never going to get there. Like, if you really want to get back there, it's never going to happen if you keep looking backwards.
And that's why you got to let go and think, where am I right now, right here? And where can I get to? Because you're not going back. You're only moving forward. And that's why I think visually, if we can represent that, it can be more helpful, because if we can gravitate towards and forwards rather than back, then we're getting closer by letting go and releasing ourselves of those constraints that are holding us back in order to go forward.
Exactly. So instead of trying to think about the past version of you, think about the new version of you. And envision that.
And you already are this version.
Okay.
Yeah. And you already are.
What's the new version going to look like?
You're just going to do the things in order to get yourself matched up with it.
Exactly. So you think about that person, that future person, and you think, what does that person do that I'm not doing right now?
Yes. Like what does that person need to add to their tool belt? What other habit or routine should be added? You know, should they be drinking a little bit more water? Should they, what's in that version that you're not doing that you can add to help get there?
Right. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's a really good thing. And like, if I wanted to get back to doing 60 push-ups in a minute, I would need to start doing push-ups.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Like intentionally and tracking them
Mhm.
to get back there.
Mhm.
But I do think it's a really good idea to set a strength or performance goal like that, because it takes the focus off of your body.
Yes. Yes.
But in doing those things, you end up getting the results that you really wanted to begin with anyway.
Mhm. And you can do it.
So, yes.
You already have the tools to it. You're already that person. You just got to do the work to get there.
Mm-hmm. So with that, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.